Today, we're exploring 10 powerful reasons why Sigma females often stay single longer than most women. And as you'll discover, what many people see as a weakness may actually be one of their greatest strengths. Let's begin. 1. She would rather be alone than settle. The biggest misconception about Sigma females is that they dislike relationships. Nothing could be further from the truth. Most Sigma females deeply value love, emotional intimacy, and meaningful companionship. They dream about sharing life with someone who truly understands them. They enjoy deep conversations, loyalty, and genuine partnership just like anyone else. The difference is that they refuse to pursue those things at any cost. Many people fear being alone so much that they gradually lower their standards. They ignore disrespect because they don't want to lose the relationship. They excuse dishonesty because starting over feels frightening. They convince themselves that good enough is better than being single. The Sigma female rarely thinks this way. She has already learned how to build a fulfilling life on her own. She knows how to enjoy quiet evenings, travel independently, work toward personal goals, and create happiness without depending on someone else's presence. Because she's already emotionally self-sufficient, she doesn't view a relationship as something she desperately needs. This completely changes the way she dates. Instead of asking, "How can I make this person like me?" she quietly asks herself, "Does this person bring peace into my life?" That simple shift protects her from many unhealthy relationships. If someone creates constant drama, ignores her boundaries, or repeatedly disappoints her, she doesn't feel trapped. People often mistake this for being overly selective. In reality, it's the result of understanding her own worth. She isn't waiting for perfection, she's waiting for compatibility. And there's a world of difference between those two things. Freedom means different things to different people. For the Sigma female, freedom isn't about avoiding commitment. It's about protecting the life she's worked so hard to create. She enjoys making her own decisions. She values having time to think, reflect, and recharge without constantly explaining herself. This independence isn't something she developed overnight. For many Sigma females, it was built through years of learning to rely on themselves. Perhaps life taught them that not everyone stays. Perhaps disappointment forced them to become stronger. Or perhaps they simply discovered that self-reliance brings a deep sense of peace. Whatever the reason, freedom becomes part of their identity. This is why controlling relationships rarely last. To someone else, those behaviors might seem normal. To a Sigma female, they often feel like the beginning of losing herself. She wants a partner who respects her independence instead of trying to replace it. Someone who understands that healthy relationships allow two complete individuals to grow together, not one person disappearing into the life of the other. 3. She reads people's intentions. Quickly, one reason Sigma females stay single longer is that they tend to notice things many people overlook. They pay attention to consistency. They observe body language. They notice how someone treats strangers. They remember promises that never get fulfilled. They pay attention to whether words and actions actually match. Because they're naturally observant, they often recognize unhealthy patterns long before emotions become deeply involved. While others focus on charm, the Sigma female quietly studies character. She asks herself questions like, can this person handle disagreement respectfully? Do they accept responsibility for their mistakes? How do they behave when they don't get what they want? These observations rarely happen consciously. Years of experience have taught her that first impressions can be misleading. Someone may appear confident while secretly being insecure. Someone may appear generous while expecting something in return. The Sigma female doesn't rush these evaluations. She lets time reveal the truth. This patience often saves her from relationships that look exciting at first, but become exhausting later. It also explains why she may take much longer before fully opening her heart. Trust, in her eyes, isn't built through promises. It's built through repeated actions. Casual attraction can be exciting. Physical chemistry can be powerful. But for the Sigma female, those things alone are rarely enough. She wants conversations that last for hours. She enjoys discussing ideas, dreams, fears, childhood experiences, personal growth, and the questions that keep people awake at night. Surface-level interactions quickly become repetitive. She isn't interested in pretending everything is perfect. She wants authenticity. She wants honesty. She wants someone who isn't afraid to admit uncertainty or vulnerability. Many people are uncomfortable discussing difficult emotions. Others hide behind jokes, distractions, or constant busyness. The Sigma female notices this almost immediately. It's not that she expects someone to reveal their entire life story on the first date. She simply looks for emotional curiosity. She wants to know whether someone is willing to explore who they really are instead of staying on the surface forever. When that curiosity is missing, attraction often fades. 5. She doesn't need constant validation. One of the biggest differences between Sigma females and many other people is where they find their sense of worth. Some individuals rely heavily on compliments, attention, or social approval. The Sigma female certainly appreciates genuine encouragement, but she doesn't build her identity around it. She's learned to validate herself. That inner stability changes the entire dating experience. She isn't impressed by expensive gifts if respect is missing. She isn't persuaded by grand romantic gestures if honesty isn't present. She isn't interested in empty words that never become meaningful actions. This also means she rarely chases people who become emotionally distant. Instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" she quietly asks, "Is this relationship still healthy?" If the answer is no, she begins letting go. Because her self-esteem isn't dependent on being chosen, she finds it easier to walk away from situations that no longer align with her values. Ironically, this independence often makes her even more attractive. But attraction isn't her goal. Peace is. 6. She protects her peace above everything else. There comes a point in many Sigma females' lives when they realize something that completely changes the way they approach relationships. Peace is priceless. It usually isn't a lesson they learn from books. It's a lesson they learn through experience. Perhaps they've spent months trying to fix a relationship where communication never improved. Perhaps they gave countless second chances to someone who kept repeating the same mistakes. Perhaps they ignored their own needs for so long that they eventually forgot what emotional peace even felt like. Those experiences leave a lasting impression. From that point forward, the Sigma female becomes extremely protective of her inner world. She pays attention to how people make her feel. Does she feel calm after spending time with them, or emotionally exhausted? Does she feel accepted? These questions become far more important than appearances, status, or temporary excitement. Many people confuse drama with passion. The Sigma female rarely does. She isn't looking for someone who creates emotional highs followed by painful lows. She's looking for consistency. She's looking for stability. She's looking for someone whose presence makes life feel lighter instead of heavier. This is one reason she sometimes walks away from relationships that seem perfectly fine to everyone else. Other people only see the smiles posted online. They don't see the constant tension behind closed doors. They don't hear the conversations that leave her questioning herself. They don't experience the emotional fatigue that slowly builds over time. The Sigma female does. And because she values peace more than appearances, she's willing to leave situations that no longer feel healthy, even when everyone else thinks she's making a mistake. Ironically, protecting her peace often means protecting her future happiness as well. 7. She refuses to ignore red flags. One of the biggest reasons Sigma females remain single longer is that they don't simply look for attraction, they look for patterns. Most people can behave well for a few weeks. Some can maintain the image for several months. Character, however, always reveals itself eventually. How someone treats a waiter, how they react when they're frustrated, whether they keep promises, whether they accept responsibility or always blame someone else. Sigma females understand that relationships are rarely destroyed by one massive betrayal. They're usually damaged by dozens of small behaviors that slowly erode trust. This is why she rarely dismisses early warning signs. If someone repeatedly disrespects her boundaries, she pays attention. Some people call this overthinking. She calls it learning. Experience has taught her that ignoring small problems today often creates much bigger problems tomorrow. That decision alone saves her from countless unhealthy relationships. 8. She isn't afraid to start over. Many people stay in unhappy relationships for one simple reason. They're afraid. Afraid of loneliness, afraid of wasting time, afraid they'll never find someone else. The Sigma female certainly experiences these fears too. She's human. The difference is that she refuses to let fear make her decisions. She's willing to rebuild. She's willing to begin again. She's willing to spend months or even years alone. if that's what it takes to avoid settling for a life that doesn't reflect her values. That level of courage often surprises people. Friends may tell her she's giving up too quickly. Family members may encourage her to compromise. Others may insist that nobody is perfect. She's aware of all of that, but she also understands something equally important. Healthy compromise and self-abandonment are not the same thing. She's happy to adjust habits. She's happy to communicate. She's happy to grow together. What she won't do is sacrifice her identity simply to avoid being alone. Because once you've learned to enjoy your own company, starting over no longer feels like failure. 9. She wants a partner, not a project. One mistake many people make in relationships is believing they can change someone. If I love them enough, they'll become more honest. If I'm patient enough, they'll become emotionally available. If I keep trying, they'll finally appreciate me. The Sigma female eventually learns that lasting change has to come from within. She isn't interested in fixing people. She isn't looking for someone whose potential is impressive while their present behavior is disappointing. She wants emotional maturity now, not someday. She wants consistency now, not after years of excuses. She wants mutual effort now, not endless promises about the future. This doesn't mean she expects perfection, far from it. She understands that everyone has flaws. Everyone has fears. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters to her is willingness. Is this person capable of self-reflection? Can they admit when they're wrong? Do they genuinely want to become a better partner? Or are they expecting someone else to carry all the emotional responsibility? The Sigma female wants an equal, someone who grows beside her, not someone she has to constantly pull forward. That expectation naturally reduces the number of people she's willing to commit to, but it also dramatically increases the quality of the relationships she eventually chooses. 10. She knows that love alone isn't enough. Perhaps the greatest lesson the Sigma female learns is that love, by itself, cannot sustain a relationship. Two people can genuinely care about each other and still be incompatible. Without trust, love struggles. Without respect, love weakens. Without communication, love becomes confusion. Without effort, love slowly fades. The Sigma female refuses to believe that strong feelings automatically solve every problem. She knows relationships require daily choices. Choosing honesty, choosing patience, choosing accountability, choosing kindness even during difficult moments. When those choices disappear, love eventually follows. This realistic view sometimes makes her seem cautious, but she's not avoiding love. She's protecting it. She wants a relationship built on something stronger than excitement alone. She wants friendship, respect, shared values, emotional safety, mutual growth, because those are the qualities that continue long after the excitement of the beginning has faded. Conclusion. People often assume Sigma females stay single because they're difficult to love. The truth is almost the opposite. They simply refuse to confuse attention with connection. They've learned that being chosen isn't the same as being valued, that chemistry isn't the same as compatibility, and that loneliness inside the wrong relationship can be far more painful than spending time alone. While others may rush into relationships to fill an emotional void, the Sigma female spends that time building herself. She develops confidence. She discovers her purpose. She creates a life she genuinely enjoys. As a result, she approaches love from a place of abundance instead of desperation. She isn't searching for someone to complete her. She's searching for someone who complements the person she's already become. And if that person takes longer to find, she's willing to wait. Because to her, the goal was never simply to have a relationship. The goal was to build one worth keeping. So if you've ever wondered why you've stayed single longer than many of the people around you, perhaps it's not because something is wrong with you. Perhaps it's because you've learned that your peace, your values, and your self-respect are too valuable to trade for temporary companionship. The right relationship won't require you to become someone else. It won't ask you to shrink your ambitions, ignore your intuition, or sacrifice your identity. Instead, it will give you the freedom to become even more of who you already are. And that's exactly the kind of love a Sigma female is willing to wait for. If you recognized yourself in these traits, let us know in the comments. Which reason resonated with you the most?